who she will continue to be, the lasting legacy that she has left on East Tennessee. Of course, we cannot forget about the impact she has made on children's literacy and the Imagination Library as well. But Dolly is resting high on that mountain now, an Appalachia girl that made her living in those rhinestones, and we pray that she is resting easy in that bed of cotton as her nephew just shared. And the Smoky Mountain Songbird. Of course, that is just one of Dolly Parton's iconic songs, 9 to 5. She is such a vision in the spotlight, isn't she? The Smoky Mountain Songbird is supposed to get honored on the big stage next month. The Americana Music Association announced it is honoring Dolly Parton with their Lifetime Achievement Award. Leaders say the award honors a singular career that has shaped American music. The award ceremony is set for September 16th in Nashville at the Ryman Auditorium. And Dolly, of course, she was an icon not just on the stage or in your ears as you were listening to those songs or her stories of East Tennessee, but she loved this land. She also loved to stay busy as well. We know that her hand was in a lot of different projects in and around East Tennessee, and most recently she shared in a video during the opening of Night Flight Exposition at Dollywood that her doctors in Nashville encouraged her to stay in Middle Tennessee instead of traveling to East Tennessee for that ride opening, even though she really did want to be there because she had some health concerns. Dolly, what she shared about her health concerns, she revealed more at the beginning of this Dollywood season. She said that she was facing some kidney problems, that she was responding well to treatment, but all of those details of what exactly she was going through were never fully revealed. We do know that even though she took a step back out of that spotlight, she still appeared here and there, even at the grand opening of the Tennessean Travel Stop just a couple of months ago. Dolly's name, if it was attached to anything, she turned it to gold. She made a lasting impact on people that she had never met, and for those who did have the pleasure of meeting her, it is all the same. I had the pleasure of interviewing Dolly Parton 2 times. I will never forget that one of those times was after her dear friend Kenny Rogers had passed away, and she said that she still had dreams about him. Well, now those dreams are now a reality, as there is surely a concert and sweet music happening in heaven. And I also asked her, whenever she dreamed, did she dream in black and white or color? And of course she said that she dreamed in color, because that's just who Dolly is. Now Dolly also, she was 80 years old at the time of her passing today on this August 25th summer East Tennessee day. But the woman who said that she wore rhinestones and always had her hair done, never left home without looking a certain way. What's ironic about this picture, I interviewed her, this was in March of 2024. I'm wearing that same dress today as I interviewed Dolly in 2 years ago. And she was always so kind. As a fellow East Tennessee girl myself, the first time that I met her, I walked into that room and I said, Dolly, it is such a pleasure to meet you. I said, I'm from East Tennessee. My first job was at Dollywood Splash Country. And I said, thank you for all that you have done. And I'll never forget how disarming she was, how she just made you feel like the most important person in the room. Even though she was such a huge star, she just automatically put you at ease. And in that picture right before that, I said, okay, like everyone gets a picture with her whenever they get to interview her. And she said, sit down here right next to me. She said, I'm little enough, you can squeeze right next to me. She smelled so good. Her nails were always a beautiful shade of pink, like you can see there in that picture. And she always had to look just so. Dolly, you're going to be so missed. As someone who did get to meet her, I'm so glad for those opportunities. And for those that never got to meet her in person, they probably felt like they did know her, because that's just the kind of person she was. Well, Dolly, she actually came up with the idea to have the Nashville Symphony play her songs. She worked with them to bring her creative vision to life. You can listen to her most popular songs. You can hear performers bring the lyrics to life and watch Dolly on screen as she talks about her early life, career, and love for music. We want to show you a story from 10 News reporter Sam Perez on how the crowd from her show drew people from all over. We're going to share that with you here in just a little bit, but also, another piece of all of this that I did want to mention is that if you remember, Dolly was supposed to have a residency in Vegas, but whenever her husband passed away and these health concerns popped up, she did take a step back and she canceled that residency. Now, if you're just joining us, we want to inform you that the breaking news that we're cutting into your programming for is to share with you that 80-year-old Dolly Parton has died. East Tennessee's songbird is now singing her songs, playing her guitar, wearing her coat of many colors in heaven. Her family shared a video with all of the details that they wanted to share with the public just a few minutes ago, and we want to show you that video once again.
Hey everyone, my name is Brian Seaver, son of Cassie Parton, and I'm representing the Parton and Owens family today, announcing the passing of my Aunt Dolly Rebecca Parton Dean, sister, sis, Aunt Granny to one generation and Gigi to the next. This video announcement is something Dolly asked of me years ago, before I fully absorbed it as a future reality. As her head of security for more than 2 decades, a role my father Larry held before me, I have imagined the heaviness of this moment, but haven't truly felt it until now. It is an honor that is mixed with absolute pride and great sadness. But sadness lies with us, not with Dolly. Dolly has lived in the light and is in the arms of Jesus, surely met by Carl, her parents, and countless others who have watched her and longed for her to meet them in the heavens. I first went on the road with Dolly as a kid, getting a taste of the road life in the early 1980s. Dolly opened doors not just for me, but for her entire family to reach the potential we didn't even know was possible. Dolly also opened doors for generations of singers, songwriters, musicians, and dreamers from every walk of life and across every continent. By her example, we believed that anything was possible. She never saw a door she couldn't open, and the doors she opened made and changed history. My family and I have shared a lifetime of beautiful memories with Dolly, but so have you. She has always been on your television, your record player, your CD, and on your phone playlist, becoming an extended part of your family whether you liked it or not. Our family and the team she has entrusted with her legacy will work diligently to ensure her spirit will live with us forever. Dolly was a farmer, just like her daddy. He farmed the soil, she farmed songs and happiness. Dolly called me and said she wants to rest in a beautiful bed of plush cotton because after a life wearing heavy rhinestones, she finally deserves to be comfortable and have some rest. Rest in peace, Aunt Dolly, Aunt Granny, Gigi. May God bless Dolly Parton, and may God bless you all. She will always love you.
Rest in peace, Dolly Parton. We will always love you right back. That will never change. A little bit ago, I was telling you about a story that our 10 News reporter Sam Perez brought us, where Dolly actually had the idea to have the Nashville Symphony Orchestra play her songs in live action. You can listen to her most popular songs, hear the performers bring the lyrics to life, and watch Dolly on the screen as she talks about her early life, career, and love for music. That was what was all a part of that show. And here's Sam Perez with that story.
Anna Carrione came all the way from Denver with her friends. On the bachelorette trip itinerary, see Dolly Parton's Threads.
It was beautiful. Amazing. Such a fun experience. I thought everything was so beautiful and surprisingly emotional.
This is a musical state, and Dolly Parton, I would say, is our patron saint.
As the chief marketing officer at the Nashville Symphony, Matthew Merker's gotten a front row seat to see the show come together.
These concerts in particular, people have come from all over the world to engage with Dolly's music.
He says it was Dolly's idea to have the symphony play her original songs, and her creative vision helped bring the show to life. The show highlights her classic songs and her Tennessee roots.
Dolly Parton falls into the category of great music. Music that resonates with the human spirit, that helps us connect with one another and with our heritage and with our future.
It's more than just a show. With special VIP tickets, getting a look at Dolly's dressing room, and an exhibit showing off the country music icon. It's an experience Amita Chabra came from Chattanooga for.
It was incredible, and Dolly kind of makes this virtual appearance. They just did such an amazing job. All the musicians, all the singers, it was just a really magical experience. It was great.
Well, again, that was all the excitement from whenever the Nashville Symphony Orchestra played their special show to honor Dolly Parton, her work, her stories, her songs. And now, of course, we are rejoicing that she is with her husband in heaven, with her parents, with so many more of the icons and friends that have passed before her. But we are also mourning the loss of our East Tennessee songbird. Well, earlier this year, we also celebrated alongside Dolly Parton as she celebrated her 80th birthday. Here's a special we put together back in January for that milestone birthday and how she made such a big impact on Sevier County.
Because The Little Coat of Many Colors was based on Mama's story. The Imagination Library was inspired by my dad.
Long before fame and fortune, Dolly Parton was a young girl growing up in the mountains of Sevier County.
I was inspired by my mother, my grandmas, my aunts. They were very strong women in their right and were very spiritual based.
Dolly has long shared that her family was dirt poor, but they were rich in love and encouragement.
She was an upperclassman when I was in school growing up, and she was coming to Knoxville every day to be on the station, to be on WBIR on the Kaz Walker Show in the mornings.
Sevier County historian Carol McMahon remembers his high school classmate.
She sang a lot on the local radio station as well in Sevierville when she was growing up. She sang every chance she got. She sang in church, she sang at school, she sang anywhere that people would ask her.
There's something fishy going on. Parton's father would take her anywhere he could so she could perform.
Well, you know, he was her first manager. He was the one who he realized she had a singing voice, and he wanted her to capitalize on it, and he did whatever it took. He'd put her in his old truck and take her anywhere he thought she had a chance to sing.
And another father figure, a man by the name of Kaz Walker, was also instrumental in helping her in those early years.
I think like her father, he pushed her to do more. He realized that she had the talent and the determination.
McMahon recalls Dolly had her signature style in the halls of Sevier County High.
She used to be walking to the lunchroom every day when I was a freshman in high school and she was a senior. Us young boys would come running past her to get in line at the cafeteria ahead of her. She came in one day and she just let us have it. She said, "It's hard to handle all these books and a wig at the same time."
I've often said it was a song that brought me out of the Smoky Mountains and a song that's brought me back.
After leaving her hometown and finding fame, Dolly continued to come back to Sevier County.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Dollywood.
There, she opened Dollywood and the very first Imagination Library. There's even a road named after her and a statue that sits in the heart of town.
Her fame and her popularity has meant so much to the tourism industry. The biggest catalyst since the national park was established in Sevier County with the 12 million visitors we have a year was Dollywood.
And while she may be 80 years old, this living legend continues to refresh, rebrand, and reignite her legacy in the hearts of her people.
I think she just feels like she's one of us. And she don't want to be anyone else but one of us, and she just makes that clear. And she's very fortunate and realizes it to have the fame that she has, and she's capitalized on that every way she can, and the fruits of that she's shared with the people she loves.
And of course, that was a look back at Dolly's life as she turned 80 years old. Now, I mentioned just a little bit ago that I had the divine privilege of interviewing Dolly in person twice in the last few years. Now, this is an interview that I did with her not too long ago. Of course, the last time I interviewed her was in March of 2024. The first time I interviewed her was in September of 2023. Here is a look at that interview and what she had to say at that time. You are a philanthropist at your core, even in the DeWitt tours, the parades that you do where you are covered in those beautiful flowers and they're donated to Random Acts of Flowers in Knoxville to go and help make people's days who may be in the hospital or don't get flowers of their own. How does it make you feel to know that the blooms in your life professionally and personally help to make people's days a little better?
Oh, well, that's sweet of you to say. You're doing a good job, by the way. You've thought about that, and I appreciate that. But I'm glad that we get to do things. We've always tried to do that. Even when I was on the road back years ago, and I get all those flowers, and we were doing one-nighters in my dressing room, and I thought, oh, I can't take all of them on the bus. What am I going to do? So we'd start sending them out, like to the old age homes or the hospitals and to children's hospitals, something to just make people happy. So that makes me happy to know that you know, the sweetest gift is a gift twice given, as they say. So I always think there's so much truth in that. It makes me feel good that something that has made me happy can make someone else happy.
Back in the spring, whenever Dollywood first opened, you might not remember this, but I got to ask you a question from the audience. I said, Dolly, how do you balance it all? How do you handle it all? You've got so many things going on all the time, and you mentioned that your faith is a big part of that. Is that what gets you up every morning?
It is. It really is. I've always, you know, I grew up in the church, and I've just always been real spiritual. Still am, and I always say I live on creative and spiritual energy, and that's what keeps me going, and that's a mighty force, both those. So you combine those two, even when you don't feel like working, when you physically don't feel like it, you can always rise above, you know, with that spiritual and creative energy, and I draw and pull from that all the time, and I'm grateful for everything good that's ever happened to me.
Dolly, always shining her positive light. Of course, she was no stranger to the spotlight. She shined there as well. Of course, her sequins and her beautiful makeup, her long nails, her big hair, it all was very uniquely Dolly. But she had a heart for philanthropy, for giving back, and you heard her talk about how she said the best gift is a gift twice given. I think that is something that we can all take away from Dolly, because that's who she was to her core. She also said that she thrived on spiritual energy. That's what kept her going. And no doubt that spiritual energy has landed her exactly where we know she is. Well, also, I had the chance to interview her a second time. Actually, I was wearing the same exact dress in March of 2024 when Dollywood opened up for that season. Here's a look at that interview. Whenever I think about award shows in general, you think of the word champion. Well, you just last month released your song, the revamped, you know, We Are the Champions, and you're going to be a part of NBC's Olympic coverage for 2024. Your voice, you're able to lend it. How do you feel about that opportunity, and can we expect to see you in more areas of the Olympics next year?
Well, I'm not sure what all I might do, but I know when we did, I did We're the Champions in my new rock album called Rockstar that's coming out in November, and since I had recorded that song, not thinking about the Olympics at all. I had recorded that, and then NBC, who hosted the show, and I do a lot of work with them, they heard when that I had recorded that song. And so they said, well, hey, why don't we do a video of that, and why don't we use that in some of our commercials for the Olympics? So I haven't heard anything more, but you never know. I might get a chance to sing it over there, for all I know. But for now, we're just using it as part of the promotion and doing commercials for the Olympics.
Well, you are a champion for so many different people and causes in our area and globally, one of the big ones being the Imagination Library. You're a champion for children, the book lady. And recently, the Imagination Library hit 200 million books that they were able to give and expanded to Washington State. Are you hoping to have more of those big milestones in the future?
We are. Our dream is to be statewide in every state, you know, in America, and we've already got tons of them, and we're very happy to be able to put those books in the hands of that many children. And when we went statewide in California, we're going to be having the books in Spanish also. So I'm real proud of how we're able to expand and how we are able to roll with the punches and kind of adapt to whatever we need to do. But yeah, I'm very, very proud of that program. That's been going on for a long time, and it's just grown every year, and now we're in different parts of the whole world. But I'm excited about every milestone that we make.
Of course, Dolly started from humble beginnings in a holler and in a cabin, but she always said that though her family didn't have money, they were always rich as they could be because they had each other and they had love. And no doubt that is the foundation that Dolly built her life, her success, and her love upon. Dolly, who rose from a loving, if impoverished upbringing in the mountains of East Tennessee to become the queen of country music, a Hollywood star and a beloved American icon. She has died. Her family announced on Tuesday, earlier today, just about 30 minutes ago. She was 80 years old, and we have more from NBC's Chloe Melas on her life and her legacy.
On the radio,
There is no such thing as natural beauty.
on the screen,
We've got chocolate and yellow cake mix.
and even in the baking aisle. Dolly Parton did it all. Singer, songwriter, actress, philanthropist, businesswoman.
I was my own woman from day one.
Here you come again.
In her lifetime, Parton wrote and performed over 3,000 songs, 25 of them #1 hits. Dolly Parton's road to superstardom began in the foothills of the Smoky Mountains in 1946. The fourth of 12 children, Parton described herself as dirt poor.
My coat of many colors.
Those modest roots and her actual childhood coat inspired hit songs like Coat of Many Colors. She started performing at church, and at age 13, Parton appeared at the Grand Ole Opry. After high school, she moved to Nashville. 3 years later, she scored her first hit single and was on her way.
Jolene, 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 Jolene.
Amazingly, Parton penned 2 of her most famous songs in one burst of creativity.
We were looking through my files to get all my old cassettes when they were putting them on the hard drive. Jolene and I Will Always Love You were on the same cassette. So that must have been a really good night.
And while Parton sang a version of I Will Always Love You that reached #1 on country charts, it was Whitney Houston's version of her song that made history. With over 24 million copies sold, it remains one of the best-selling singles of all time.
And Hart wants me to take papers to his lawyer. I'm going to be gone all afternoon.
In 1980, Parton made her foray into films, co-starring in 9 to 5 at the suggestion of Jane Fonda. More films followed, including Steel Magnolias in 1989. In her hometown of Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, she opened Dollywood, a successful theme park, and she launched a childhood literacy program, providing free books to children, mailing up to 2 million books globally each month. Though she was long famous for her blonde wigs, in the end, Parton was best known for her body of work and the legions she inspired. Chloe Melas, NBC News.
And Dolly actually first appeared on television right here at Channel 10. She was on the Kaz Walker Show. We have her full performance now.
I think there's something fishy going on. Now you said you were going on a fishing trip with some old friend, and you said that you'd be home tonight somewhere around 10. Well, here it is, it's 2 o'clock, and you still ain't got home. I think there's something fishy going on. I think that I
This is Dolly Parton, and Dolly, we're happy to have you on the Caswalker
Well, I'm
Show.
happy to be back. Thank you.
And on Saturday, October 7th, Dolly Parton Day at Sevierville, Tennessee.
That's right.
Dolly, tell us who all is going to be with you.
Well, so far as we know, we know for sure that Porter Wagner and the Wagon Masters are going to be there, and Chet Atkins, and we're planning on several other big artists. So we'd appreciate it if all of you would come out and be with us on that day. That's October 7th. And I think they start the parade, if I'm not mistaken, at 10:30. And we do a show in Sevierville, and then we do one later on in the day in Pigeon Forge, and then we go on to Gatlinburg.
That's
and
great.
do another show.
Now, how about in Sevierville, where will you be showing?
Well, I would imagine that they'll do the show on the courthouse lawn.
Mhm.
That's usually where they do things like that.
Well,
Ain't
great.
that right?
That's right. And you folks keep that in mind now. That's October 7th, Saturday, Dolly Parton Day in good old Sevierville, Tennessee.
And that starts at 10:30.
10:30. Dolly, how about a fine song?
I'd love to do one. Oh Lord, my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the worlds thy hands have made, I see the stars, I hear the roaring thunder, his power throughout the universe displayed. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. When Christ shall come with shout of acclamation to take me home, what joy shall fill my heart. Then I shall kneel in humble adoration, then thank my God, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, oh, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art.
There is just no mistaking Dolly. She was one of a kind. That was the first time she appeared on TV, but John, so many more times that she appeared on TV, in the spotlight, and just in people's lives that made a lasting impact.
You have run down in the last 45 minutes or so that we've been on the air, Katie, just her impact from the Imagination Library to what she did with the My People Fund. In the Smokies, we're coming up on 10 years to mark those wildfires that were so devastating. And I heard from locals in that community in Gatlinburg in some interviews just recently that it was Dolly who stepped up and said, take this. That meant so much to them. It was just, we trust you and we want to help you. And that was her message there in so many places across the world.
And I think that all of that is reflected in what she called her foundation, the My People Fund.
Yes.
Those are her people, her mountains, and she was invested in giving back because of her success. She thought, I don't want to keep all of this. I've got to share it with others. A philanthropist to her core, she shined brighter than any rhinestone she ever wore. She was the true star, always.
Well said, Katie. And I've been talking to lots of her people just in the little time that we've heard about her death. My mom, who happens to be one of them, and it broke her heart when I broke the news to her today, and she said, I'm mourning with the world. And she, like, I also talked to Beth Haynes, one of our colleagues here at Channel 10 for so many years, who just said she heard and she just thought, Dolly is invincible, can't happen. She interviewed Dolly a dozen times or so, and I know, Katie, that you talked to her twice.
Yeah.
You are actually wearing the dress that you wore in one of those interviews.
My last interview I did with Dolly, I wore this dress in March of 2024. After Dolly's husband, Carl Dean, passed away, she stopped appearing in the public spotlight. She didn't really do as many of those interviews anymore just because it's a lot. You know, she was going through her own health concerns. So I didn't know it at the time that that was going to be the last time that I would be able to talk to her. But yes, wearing the same dress, and what are the odds that this morning, as I was picking this out at 7 a.m., that this is the dress that I chose today. I don't believe in coincidences.
Right.
Everything happens for a reason. And I think that Dolly's butterfly wings, you know, every time we see a butterfly now, we're going to think of Dolly Parton.
I couldn't agree more. And we're seeing those winks throughout the day. You told me at 1 o'clock today, here on the Kelly Clarkson show, what happened?
Yeah, they were able to give a look back at Dolly's life as well, and give a look back at some of her best moments. They aired that today. Insanity. And John, so many more of these things too. I mean, she was set to be honored at an award show coming up. Her musical is set to also premiere and debut on Broadway on her 81st birthday, what would have been in January. And of course, her hotel is getting ready to open in Nashville very soon. John, we have crews that are now spreading out all over East Tennessee and in Nashville, gathering content, reaction. No doubt Todd and I are actually going to head out here in a little bit, so you're going to take the reins on the studio coverage. But I can guarantee you that when we get out to that Dolly Parton statue in downtown Sevierville, that there are going to be a slew of tributes, flowers, and people there that are honoring her life and her legacy. We have seen similar tributes to icons in East Tennessee passing before.
And we will continue to see it. We have a statement from her family. We want to listen to that now.
Hey everyone, my name is Brian Seaver, son of Cassie Parton, and I'm representing the Parton and Owens family today, announcing the passing of my Aunt Dolly Rebecca Parton Dean, sister, sis, Aunt Granny to one generation and Gigi to the next. This video announcement is something Dolly asked of me years ago, before I fully absorbed it as a future reality. As her head of security for more than 2 decades, a role my father Larry held before me, I have imagined the heaviness of this moment, but haven't truly felt it until now. It is an honor that is mixed with absolute pride and great sadness. But sadness lies with us, not with Dolly. Dolly has lived in the light and is in the arms of Jesus, surely met by Carl, her parents, and countless others who have watched her and longed for her to meet them in the heavens. I first went on the road with Dolly as a kid, getting a taste of the road life in the early 1980s. Dolly opened doors not just for me, but for her entire family to reach the potential we didn't even know was possible. Dolly also opened doors for generations of singers, songwriters, musicians, and dreamers from every walk of life and across every continent. By her example, we believed that anything was possible. She never saw a door she couldn't open, and the doors she opened made and changed history. My family and I have shared a lifetime of beautiful memories with Dolly, but so have you. She has always been on your television, your record player, your CD, and on your phone playlist, becoming an extended part of your family whether you liked it or not. Our family and the team she has entrusted with her legacy will work diligently to ensure her spirit will live with us forever. Dolly was a farmer, just like her daddy. He farmed the soil, she farmed songs and happiness. Dolly called me and said she wants to rest in a beautiful bed of plush cotton because after a life wearing heavy rhinestones, she finally deserves to be comfortable and have some rest. Rest in peace, Aunt Dolly, Aunt Granny, Gigi. May God bless Dolly Parton, and may God bless you all. She will always love you.
We're going to reflect on a few other remembrances now from people with deep Tennessee connections. You see, this is from Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn, an iconic leader who loved our great state and nation. Her passing leaves a void that no one can ever fill. We will always love you, Senator Blackburn. Also from Representative Tim Burchett here in Knoxville. She represented the very best of the American dream, and her legacy will live on for generations to come. Rest in peace, Dolly. Another reflection here from Knox County Mayor Glenn Jacobs, taking to social media and sharing the following post. Her impact on East Tennessee is immeasurable, as are her contributions to our state and nation. Dolly was one of a kind and will be missed. Again, that's Knox County Mayor Glenn Jacobs. Here is Trace Atkins, the music world, one of many reacting right now. He says, in part, it is indeed rare to the world collectively to express sorrow for someone's passing. I knew her to be the angel that they think she was, and I'll miss her. Dolly, I'll always love you. Good afternoon, I'm John Becker. About an hour ago, we came on the air to let you know that Dolly Parton has died at the age of 80. And again, we are hearing from family, friends, and people around the world who are mourning her passing. Pastor in Blount County calling her the best of us, which is echoed really by everyone we're hearing from today. We're going to rewind and reflect on how Dollywood became what it is today. It was approved in 1985, and we're going to roll back the clock just a bit and give you that history lesson.
It was anything but business as usual for the Pigeon Forge City Council. It was, after all, being held in a barn theater in the heart of Silver Dollar City, a local amusement and theme park. 2,000 people were there, and all because of one lady, Dolly Parton, Sevier County's favorite daughter, who was at her witty best pairing with members of council.
See, that's the way it goes. It always gets back to politics, don't it? Well, since that's the way it is, my daddy needs his road widened.
For years, Dolly has dreamed of developing a theme park close to her hometown. She wants to call it Dollywood. Silver Dollar City, already a successful park in its own right, says they're interested in converting itself into Dollywood, but only after improvements to roads and other utilities are made. And that would mean funding from City Council.
I think what we're looking at is just basically expanding what the city has already started.
As for Dolly's part in it, she says she plans to perform there occasionally, promote it, and ensure that visitors see a glimpse of East Tennessee that is not a Hollywood version.
And one of the things that I wanted to do in a park like this was to preserve the Smoky Mountain heritage, for people to come here and see what we're really all about, rather than just have some Hollywood bunch of people portray Tennessee and mountain people in the ways that they often do.
Phase 1 of Dollywood is a scheduled $5 million expansion that's expected to nearly double the size of the park.
That's our old friend Gene Patterson there back in 1985 as we saw the permission for Dollywood to expand. Dolly herself making the case that she wanted this to be real and genuine, just like she is and was. Let's move forward now in history and show you the opening of Dollywood in Sevier County.
Pigeon Forge once stood as a stretch of rural farmland, its quiet fields untouched by the pulse of progress. But as Dolly Parton rose to stardom, the land itself underwent a profound change, setting the stage for a vibrant new chapter.
Started in the 50s, something called Rebel Railroad. They laid our railroad tracks then. They had a train show that was Civil War themed. From Rebel Railroad, you transition to a park called Gold Rush Junction. Gold Rush Junction was owned by Art Modell, the owner of previously the Cleveland Browns. He's a big train person, so he bought himself a railroad, and then he started to develop this property the mid-1970s, Jack and Pete Hershend, who owned Silver Dollar City in Branson, Missouri, were looking for a place to expand. So they purchased the park from Art Modell, and they started what became Silver Dollar City, Tennessee. Pretty successful business, but this lady, Dolly Parton, who was from here, was pretty famous around that time period, and she was going to create jobs for that area.
As word of Dolly's plan to bring her namesake back to her roots spread, Pigeon Forge citizens and local businesses embraced her vision with open arms.
I think it's great that she did, something for her hometown. They're talking about it up in Gatlinburg, but I'm glad it's here.
If she builds a park the size of Opryland with another 1 million visitors in the area, it can do nothing but help, hopefully.
But to achieve her dream, Dolly would have to convince not only the Pigeon Forge City Council, but the owners of Silver Dollar City, the Hershend family.
The potential for tourism is one of the reasons that everybody's getting behind this opportunity. All that's really been accomplished at this point is that Dolly has expressed an interest to the Hershend family on locating her lifelong dream of Dollywood here at the site of Silver Dollar City. And of course we have agreed to that interest and are acceptable to it, and we'll be negotiating at this point.
With or without Dollywood, city officials say tourism is on the increase here in Pigeon Forge, and thus the need for public utility improvements is necessary. With Dollywood, though, they say those improvements would have to come much sooner than planned.
Thankfully, the City Council was on board with Dolly's vision.
I think what we're looking at is just basically expanding what the city has already started. The impact will be tremendous. I think it's an added plus to our area, and we're sure looking forward to it.
Whether or not this amusement park becomes Dollywood really comes down to a meeting here at Silver Dollar City's Barnwood Theater tomorrow night. And while management team still may be in negotiation, as far as everyone else is concerned, they couldn't be more pleased or excited about the possibility of Dolly really coming home.
More than 2,000 people showed up in support of Sevier County's favorite songstress, and she did not disappoint.
See, that's where it goes. It always gets back to politics, don't it? Well, since that's the way it is, my daddy needs his road widened.
After getting down to business, Dolly shared her plans for the park, promising visitors an authentic look into the soul of East Tennessee.
And one of the things that I wanted to do in a park like this was to preserve the Smoky Mountain heritage, for people to come here and see what we're really all about, rather than just have some Hollywood bunch of people portray Tennessee and mountain people in the ways that they often do.
The council embraced Dolly's vision, and within 4 days, she broke ground on the $5 million expansion that would soon bloom into Dollywood. From dawn till dusk, 6 days a week for 6 months straight, the transformation of Silver Dollar City was underway, each stroke of labor bringing Dollywood closer to its May 3, 1986 opening date. The new Riverfront Junction, a vibrant tribute to Dolly's roots, would be home to the Parton Backdoor Porch, a living, breathing replica of her childhood home built by her brother Bobby.
This house looks a lot like that old house. Yeah, it's still, the old house is still, people still live in it.
All of this memorabilia is going to be part of the Dolly Parton story, a tribute to her life. Many of the items have been kept in her basement up until now, including this coat of many colors, the subject of a #1 single for Dolly back in the 1970s.
Dollywood would be a true family affair, as her own aunt would perform at the new park.
It's a dream come true for Dolly, but she's made a lot of our dreams come true too, you know.
The park would also help a lot of other dreams come true, with an estimated 300 employees.
I think it's going to be a great year for Dollywood, but it's going to be the biggest year yet for Sevier County, the biggest year yet for the Smoky Mountains. Everybody's going to benefit from it. It's going to be a gusher.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Dollywood. I want to thank you, Governor, and thank you, Pigeon Forge, Sevier County, and thank you, God.
With the cutting of the ribbon, 1,986 balloons were released, signaling the fruition of Dolly's dream.
And I want you to know that Dollywood's aim is to make you feel as important on every visit as I feel today. I have dreamed for many years of getting to come back, bringing something back, so you folks will know that I'm as proud of you as you've always been of me.
And to make it official, the hometown girl gave the fans a proper Dolly Parton send-off.
They just use your mind and they never give you credit. It's enough to drive you. That's a little high for me, gay.
Gates opened promptly at 8 a.m., and Dollywood welcomed its very first visitors. Fans rushed to attractions like Blazing Fury, the Dollywood Express, Smoky Mountain River Rampage, and the Big Log Flume.
The theme of Dollywood is family-oriented, and family and folks from all over the country came to visit. But today, as you can see by the crowd behind me, there's only one reason they came.
Dolly is one of my favorite country singers, and we just enjoy her. And we're glad that she invested in Dollywood.
She's wonderful. She really is. She's super. She's a wonderful person. She means everything that's good in America.
I think she's terrific. She's mine.
I love Dolly.
What do you love about her?
She's just a good old country girl.
She's so hometown. It's just, one of us. She's such a hillbilly. We just love her.
Dolly's a very popular person, especially here at her own theme park, and she's hoping that revenues from this first year won't fall flat. But this is ridiculous.
It's an incredible mix of merchandise that we have, and we also try to provide our guests something that they can take home and be proud of at a reasonable price.
Hey, how you doing? See you.
For Dolly, the opening of her park, the achievement of her dream, was a full-circle moment.
I think that I just had a lot of big dreams, and I just believed that I could do it, and I wanted to see the world outside the Smoky Mountains, although I loved the Smokies. And as time went on, I wanted to be able to do something to bring back to the Smokies and to be, just always a part of my people. I think Dollywood in general, one of the things that I'm most excited about in giving back is the fact that this is providing jobs for so many people up here, my family and friends, and this is going to mean more motels and more business for the restaurants and the shops, and not just here in Dollywood, but for Gatlinburg and Sevierville and all of Pigeon Forge.
In its first season, 1.34 million people visited Dollywood, more than doubling Silver Dollar City's previous season. Pigeon Forge saw a 46% increase in tax revenue and another 37% increase in lodging revenue. Dollywood was here to stay and already looking toward the future.
We're already meeting with her about things that we're going to build for 1987 and 1988, and so it's going to be an exciting project.
Dolly Parton, the dreamer in chief. She grew that company from some 300 employees then to almost 3,000 now, just opening one ride that cost $50 million. Quite an achievement for her business-wise, but we know what a philanthropist she was as well. And we'll revisit that throughout the afternoon as well as we remember Dolly Parton. We're approaching the top of the hour here on WBIR, and we're glad you're with us, and we're sorry to pass along the news that Dolly Parton died at the age of 80. She is the closest thing our country has to royalty, and we heard from her family about her death today.
Hey everyone, my name is Brian Seaver, son of Cassie Parton, and I'm representing the Parton and Owens family today, announcing the passing of my Aunt Dolly Rebecca Parton Dean, sister, sis, Aunt Granny to one generation and Gigi to the next. This video announcement is something Dolly asked of me years ago, before I fully absorbed it as a future reality. As her head of security for more than 2 decades, a role my father Larry held before me, I have imagined the heaviness of this moment, but haven't truly felt it until now. It is an honor that is mixed with absolute pride and great sadness. But sadness lies with us, not with Dolly. Dolly has lived in the light and is in the arms of Jesus, surely met by Carl, her parents, and countless others who have watched her and longed for her to meet them in the heavens. I first went on the road with Dolly as a kid, getting a taste of the road life in the early 1980s. Dolly opened doors not just for me, but for her entire family to reach the potential we didn't even know was possible. Dolly also opened doors for generations of singers, songwriters, musicians, and dreamers from every walk of life and across every continent. By her example, we believed that anything was possible. She never saw a door she couldn't open, and the doors she opened made and changed history. My family and I have shared a lifetime of beautiful memories with Dolly, but so have you. She has always been on your television, your record player, your CD, and on your phone playlist, becoming an extended part of your family whether you liked it or not. Our family and the team she has entrusted with her legacy will work diligently to ensure her spirit will live with us forever. Dolly was a farmer, just like her daddy. He farmed the soil, she farmed songs and happiness. Dolly called me and said she wants to rest in a beautiful bed of plush cotton because after a life wearing heavy rhinestones, she finally deserves to be comfortable and have some rest. Rest in peace, Aunt Dolly, Aunt Granny, Gigi. May God bless Dolly Parton, and may God bless you all. She will always love you.
Her nephew remembering Dolly Parton, and we are seeing that from other people with deep ties to Tennessee. Here is the message from Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn posting on social media, an iconic leader who loved our great state and nation. Her passing leaves a void that no one can ever fill. We will always love you. Representative Tim Burchett in Congress here and representing East Tennessee now for years says this about Dolly. She represented the very best of the American dream, and her legacy will live on for generations to come. Rest in peace, Dolly. Knox County Mayor Glenn Jacobs taking to social media as well, sharing this message about the passing of Dolly. Her impact on East Tennessee is immeasurable, as are her contributions to our state and nation. Dolly was one of a kind and will be missed. And the music world, of course, reacting as well to the death of Dolly Parton, including country artist Trace Atkins saying in part, "I knew her to be the angel that they think she was, and I'll miss her. Dolly, I'll always love you." The Vol Shop posting on social media following her death with a picture of Dolly in Big Orange. Remember this performance in 2023? Their quote, "We will always love you." Again, if you're curious about the top songs right now on Apple Music for Dolly Parton, here are the song titles. Islands in the Stream, great with country music star Kenny Rogers back in 1983. Then 9 to 5. There Was Jesus is the number 3 song that was produced and released in 2019. And then the classic Jolene in 1973. Those are the top 4 songs right now from Dolly on Apple Music. Her impact stretched well beyond her business acumen in Sevier County. Again, she created what is now the largest employer in that county. Here is the philanthropic side of Dolly, and she created something that has touched lives around the world with her Imagination Library.
So I've got the original Little Engine That Could. It was the first one that they put out in 1995.
Memories in book form hold a special place in Jen Webb's heart and top shelf in her office.
And then I've got all kinds of other books. Grover's book of cute things to touch.
The collection of titles has a backstory. As a little girl, Jen could always count on a book from her hometown's most famous resident showing up in her mailbox every month.
When you're growing up and you're little, you don't really understand fame and you don't understand those things, but I knew who was sending me books every month, and so she was the book lady.
The book lady, better known to the world as Dolly Parton. In 1995, the country music legend launched a program in her native Sevier County, gifting books to Jen and nearly 2,000 other enrolled children from birth to age 5. Dolly brought Imagination Library to life, inspired by her father, who never learned to read or write.
You know, even though she always describes him as one of the wisest men that she's ever known, that it held him back probably from achieving all that he wanted to. And he had aspirations. He wanted to take care of his family, which he did as best as he could.
But it is my belief that if you can read, that you can self-educate yourself.
Once Dolly's Imagination Library took root, interest quickly spread. In 2004, then-Governor Phil Bredesen partnered with Imagination Library, taking the program statewide. 3 decades later, Imagination Library ships books to children in all 50 states, Canada, the United Kingdom, Ireland, and Australia.
Well, as we sit here today, it's over 260 million Imagination Library books have been gifted since our inception in 1995, and it's just growing like crazy.
Jeff Conyers, president of the Dollywood Foundation, says Each book is carefully picked for children, available in Braille for the visually impaired and in Spanish.
As we know, demographics across the U.S. are changing rapidly. Spanish language is quite prevalent in many parts of the U.S., and so we now have a fully bilingual Imagination Library that's parallel with our core Imagination Library program.
And I am just so grateful and blessed to have been such a small part of it.
Now, as a young professional, Jen says Imagination Library sparked her lifelong love of reading. She went on to study English in college. And 30 years after receiving her first book, The Little Engine That Could, from the book lady, Jen works as a publicist at Dolly's Parks and Resorts.
It's really a testament to just how powerful a simple idea that's from the heart can be. It can really change the world.
And that title, The Book Lady, is one that Dolly wore most proudly. Here's a little excerpt from an interview my colleague Robin Wilhoit did with Dolly just about a year or so ago.
Once again, thank you for this opportunity, and we do share our condolences with you.
But thank you so much.
But I know this is bittersweet, but it's 40 years of Dollywood.
I know.
And every year you're back, and every year you are opening the doors to thousands, millions of people, and there's something new every year. How much of a fingerprint do you put on that experience when people walk through the gates and there's some new show or some new ride?
Well, don't you see it? Have you spent much time here? Yes. My fingerprints are everywhere. They call me the dreamer in chief because I'm always involved in when we plan new things, we try to connect it to parts of my life and to Dollyize it, we kind of call it, to kind of make sure that people can feel the connection, not just, having just stuff out there, just to have stuff, even in the name or the way that we surround it, with the countryside or whatever. So it's important, even with our hotels and resorts, we try to kind of, what people can feel like. That my presence is there, at least like you said, my fingerprints are there. So I'm involved because I love getting with the crew every year when we plan new things, to talk it down, to see what would be good, and then how we can kind of make it personable for me and for them.
You are known worldwide as Dolly Parton, the incredible singer, songwriter, actress. But there's a whole slew of young kids out there who know you as the book lady.
I know, and I'm proud of that. I love that. I always tell the story about my dad got a bigger kick and thought that he was prouder of me being the book lady than he was that I was a star, I think.
Which title do you embrace more so, the superstar or the book lady?
Well, actually, all of it's part of me. I am a girl of many colors, and I've lived a life of many colors, so all of those pieces are me. I mean, they're all important to me, but I love the kids. Grew up in that big old family, so I have a great love for kids. I love my little nieces and nephews, and I love all kids. So the fact that I can do something to help children in their young life to learn to love to read, because it is my philosophy that if you can read, you can be self-educated. You can find a book on anything you want to know about. So it's a crippling thing if you can't read, just like one of the reasons I started the Imagination Library, because my own daddy couldn't read and write, because he grew up like we did in a very rural area, but in those mountains, a lot of times the schools are far away and they have big families and the kids have to go to work to provide for the rest of the family. So a lot of kids and a lot of people don't get a chance to be educated. So that was one of the reasons that I started the Imagination Library, because I believe if you can learn early, because my dad, after he was grown, he didn't think he could learn to read. And because it was just a thing that he felt either too embarrassed to do it or just felt it was out of reach for him then. But Daddy was really smart. I've often wondered what all Daddy would have done had he been able to do that. So I want to give any and everybody a chance, to have at least the chance to learn to read. Because even if you're too poor to get a college education. As I mentioned, you can get a job. You can learn about what you want to if you can read.
Reading can take you everywhere and anywhere you want it to be. Let's talk about another wonderful event coming, and that is Dolly, the musical, an original musical. It's going to be staged, of course, at Belmont. Bring us up to date on the process. Where do things stand now? And who would make the perfect Dolly?
Oh, we've got several people trying out. We have not chosen the right one yet. We did put out a cattle call, as they call it, and audition tapes, and we have gotten some really great people. And we're not certain yet. We haven't, but we are in Nashville now. They've been in and out of New York for the last, several months trying to help put it together, because I couldn't go to New York, because my husband was not well and I refused to leave town. So they've all been coming here. And so we're in the process now of just making sure that the show has got all the right elements, what songs we need to take out, if we need new and different songs once we start the acting. So we're really way far down the road, and we're going to premiere it. I think they said July the 18th. Yes. That we're going to do the premiere. Right, it's going to be a worldwide premiere. But we're going to be previewing it before that. And then after it premieres, we're going to be at the Fisher Center several weeks more before we take it to New York to Broadway.
Did you ever think Dolly on Broadway? You've been on the stage, you've been in front of a camera on the big screen, now a Broadway stage.
Well, I've thought about it for many, many years. I always thought it would be a great story, my life story. And I did write the music for the 9 to 5 Broadway musical, but that was just the music. That was not my life. That was just the character I played, and I wrote all the songs for all the characters. But this is a whole new thing. I had no idea how hard they work, what a strange process it really is, but I've really enjoyed watching it and learning how all of that stuff works, the sets, and how they are able to move that back and forth. But this, I want to say, a lot of people say, because they know me as the book lady, but this is a different, I'm a girl in many colors, as I mentioned, but this is not like young kid friendly. This is kind of the story of my life, and I want people to know if before they decide to bring their little children, young children, the parents need to see this first if they think, because it's, there's a lot of different things going on, a lot of, different language, some things that kids would say, if I'd have known that, I wouldn't have taken my kids, because it's just my life's journey. A lot of people are in and out, so we touch on a lot of subjects that might not be appropriate. There's some cussing and some innuendo, a lot of stuff that is not necessary. It's not the Dolly story from the little golden book. We do touch on all that, but it's not a show it's not a show for little children.
It's your life.
It's my life.
It's your life.
That is part of my life, but it talks about how I got to where I am. So I just want people to know that.
In the vast, and I'll make this quick, your vast career, a lot of things have happened. Is there any moment that was this unexpected moment that has just took your breath away? Because a lot of things you've experienced in that, but anything that just took that breath away?
That's a good question. I've never been asked that before. But any time that I've had a dream that really I see come true, when I really see it happening, that takes my breath away. Like if I see the show and if it gets on to Broadway, like I had hoped and planned, and if it's a success, that will take my breath away. But anytime they tell me like that we're heading toward 300 million books for children, that should take your breath away, because it makes you feel like that all your planning and all your dreaming and all your hard work has paid off. But I don't recall just a moment that just hit me like that's the greatest moment. But there are great moments in my life, like when I got put in the Songwriters Hall of Fame, the Nashville one and the big one, that has all the biggest writers. That took my breath away. And then, when I get honored at things like the Kennedy Center, those things are breathtaking moments. So, and I'm very grateful for all of that. And then when I was watching my life story, watching other people play it out, I thought, wow, how did I have time to do all that? How did I get all that done? I'll tell you how, because I was surrounded by great people. God has always blessed me with great people that have helped me through every phase of my journey. So That's breathtaking.
Yeah, you're breathtaking.
Yeah.
You are breathtaking. We all marvel at what you do and what you have done and what you will do. So thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. I'm glad to finally get to talk to you.
I am so glad I finally get this opportunity too. You are a blessing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No question, that was one of Robin's favorite interviews she's ever done. Dolly Parton, just a little more than a year ago. I want to pass along some other condolences from people who knew Dolly well. One in particular is Senator Lamar Alexander of Tennessee. Just wrote a book and shared some of his experiences with Dolly, and he hints at them in this statement about her death. He says, Dolly Parton was a Tennessee treasure who used her God-given gifts to brighten so many lives in so many ways. Dolly loved everyone, and everyone loved Dolly. And everyone learned quickly that if you want to be noticed, don't ride in a convertible with Dolly Parton. We are all lucky to have such a generous and caring friend in our midst. The memories today from Senator Lamar Alexander of our great state, former governor as well. And we are getting lots of reactions. We're live across East Tennessee. We'll take you to Sevier County and Dolly's home a little bit later this afternoon. Again, we're near the portion where some of our viewers may just be joining us now and learning this news of Dolly Parton's passing at the age of 80. And we knew that her health wasn't great in the last few months. You may recall that she pulled out of that Las Vegas tenure that she was going to have as an artist in residence. That ended, and more recently, just in the last couple of weeks, 11 days ago, as Katie Inman mentioned earlier in our coverage, Dolly did not go and kick off the opening of a new ride for the first time in anyone can remember because of her health. She did share a video message for the ride, but again, she wasn't there in person. Now, earlier this year, East Tennessee Children's Hospital was named after Dolly Parton, and here's a little of our coverage from that.
East Tennessee songbird needs no introduction.
Well, hey there, it's Dolly.
But she'll do it anyways. And now, the same well-known name will soon replace signs at East Tennessee Children's Hospital.
We're beyond excited to have her associate her name and that history and legacy.
CEO of the newly named Dolly Parton Children's Hospital, Matt Schaefer, says the partnership just made sense.
And that concept of more comfort, more love, more healing has been part of our DNA. And if you think about what that means for Dolly Parton, that is very much a part of her DNA.
Dolly, born in the Smokies, has created a legacy of bringing joy into her community.
And ever since that I've been in a position to do my part and to help others, I have tried to do just that, especially when children and families need it most.
Everything her name touches, from her theme park to the Imagination Library, is rooted in love for others. She's the honorary chair of the Dr. Robert Thomas Foundation, helping families afford health care in Sevier County. Thomas delivered her in a family cabin in Pittman Center.
And that origin story is special. It's special from her hometown's perspective.
Schaefer says Dolly's commitment will help the hospital expand and keep offering the best doctors and services.
When we come together for our children, there is no limit to what we can do.
In a place where some families are seeking comfort, Dolly's name and the warmth behind it will be in the halls for every child.
The president has ordered flags at half-staff in honor of Dolly and her legacy, and we are learning a lot more about her life and its impact on people that she connected with, both near and far, and we'll bring you more of that coverage. We want to rewind the clock almost a decade now. In 2016, after the devastating Gatlinburg fires and the wildfires in the Smoky Mountains, we saw Dolly truly come to the rescue of her people. She created a fund called the My People Fund to offer people a new start, at least some help moving on after that fire. Here's part of our coverage.
It was the most heartbreaking, sickening, scary. It's just you can't describe the feeling.
Dolly describing the day she first heard that her home, the Great Smoky Mountains, were going up in flames.
Well, I freaked out because they were telling me the Smoky Mountains were burning. I was on tour, and we were on stage. When I got off stage, they said, you know, the Smoky Mountains are burning down. And I thought, what are you talking about?
Hit the gas, hit the gas. Images on TV showing the devastation, flames whipped by winds through the country's most visited national park. It's too hot in here, don't worry about it. 14 lives lost and more than 2,000 homes and businesses destroyed. Dolly, thankful her own family was okay, but heartbroken for the victims and the tremendous loss.
So you learn to live life tough. But when everybody's got that spiritual background also, so I think that good neighbors and just faith in God and trust in God and in one another, kind of you pull together as a team.
An old schoolhouse. Dolly's star-studded telethon, Smoky Mountains Rise, a benefit for the My People Fund, raised $10 million, then millions more even after the event. Several thousands of dollars distributed to each of the 900 families affected. Sadly, scammers managed to steal a small chunk of that before their scheme was uncovered.
Anytime there's money involved, you're going to always have your little crooks, but you don't pay attention to them. They never get that far anyway, and it's a small drop in the bucket of all the wonderful things that people did.
The ever-positive Dolly, focusing on the good hearts of those who joined in to help her people in their time of need.
All of this. So I'm just proud to be part of that whole thing, and I think it's good when people try to help.
Her words describing her mountain tough people.
The love and the caring and the giving and the thoughtfulness and the tenderness and just the willingness and the toughness and just all of the wonderful things that, you know, that people should be.
And she has a message for every one of you watching at home planning that next vacation.
I think the big message here is people should come on back. It's there. It's still beautiful. It's still fun. It's still everything that it was. And I think there's a new spirit and a new energy.
Dolly Parton leading the way in the recovery after the 2016 wildfires in the mountains of Sevier County, her longtime home. Now, we see her in many, many different hats, and one is certainly as dreamer-in-chief at Dollywood. But again, we've been revisiting throughout this afternoon her role in helping children's charities, in helping children who are sick at Dolly Parton's East Tennessee Children's Hospital. And the list goes on, and so it seems like there aren't enough hours in the day to do all that Dolly wants to do. And that was the heart of the question that 10 News anchor Katie Inman posed one moment at Dollywood as they were opening for one season recently.
Dollywood is always expanding, growing. Something new is always on the horizon here. And much like yourself, you're always evolving and growing. You've got your own line of bakery items. You've got a rock album coming out. You're always trying something new. My question is, are you always thinking about what's next? And how do you handle all of that? How do you juggle it all?
I'm on drugs. No, actually, I live off of creative and spiritual energy, and I just love what I do, and I just pray that God will lead me and kind of show me what to do, and I think anytime you're working on good things, it energizes you, and I don't, somebody say, how come you never...
She had the crowd in the palm of her hand every time she opened up Dollywood, such a special event. She most recently missed out on the opening of Dollywood's newest ride, and unfortunately, she couldn't be there in person. It was a first for Dolly. She is normally there and ushering in whatever new project her theme park has launched. That ride was $50 million and one that just launched in the last couple of weeks. Dolly did send a video message but wasn't able to be there in person. As we come up on the bottom of the hour, we'll reset and offer some more remembrances of Dolly, but I want to share one from somebody who knows her quite well, and that is the mayor of Sevier County. And he has known Dolly for so many years. I mean, really grew up with her. And I want to pull that up. I read Senator Lamar Alexander's statement just a little bit ago. But the Sevier County Mayor, Larry Waters, is about to leave office. And he was sharing some information and love for Dolly as well that I'm trying to find in all of our many emails here. Here's one from Emily Ann Roberts. The first thing that she wanted to know about Dolly is that she'd always loved and looked up to her. And again, that other note I wanted to share was of Senator Lamar Alexander, and this is his reflections on Dolly. Dolly was a Tennessee treasure who used her God-given gifts to brighten so many lives in so many ways. Dolly loved everyone, and everyone loved Dolly, and everyone learned quickly that if you want to be noticed, don't ride in a convertible with Dolly Parton. He joked that they all looked at her instead of at him when he was governor riding in convertible. You can read that in his new book. He says, "We are all lucky to have such a generous and caring friend in our midst." And again, we have crews scattered across East Tennessee at various places. We're going to take you to Sevier County. We're going to take you to Dollywood. And we're also going to take you to UT's campus right now, where we check in with one of our reporters standing by with some of the remembrances we're seeing right now on Rocky Top.
Guys, when I got off the phone with producers and found out that Dolly had passed away, I actually had a student come up to me to tell me, did you hear the news? And after that, of course, I'm speaking to so many students on campus. They're telling me they grew up with the Imaginary Library. Others told me that they've grown their entire lives in Tennessee, some even being from Nashville, where Dolly is best known, and that it is truly heartbreaking to see someone who's such a huge part of the community. I even spoke to a couple who are here right now for a basketball game or a basketball practice who met at Tennessee UT 50 years ago. They told me that she's always been a huge part of this community, and it's really great to know that there's so many people around Tennessee that are really feeling the legacy of Dolly Parton, and that it's going to carry on even after she's passed. Many found out in their classrooms as well. Some found out through Zoom calls. It's just been a murmur across campus, and it's really been a really somber time for students, and I can only imagine for the rest of the people in Tennessee who have cherished her legacy so very much. John, I'm going to pass it back to you.
So much for your live coverage. We'll certainly check back with you. I mentioned Mayor Larry Waters in Sevier County and the mayor-elect there, Brian McCarter. They have declared Wednesday, August 26, 2026, a day of mourning in Sevier County. President Donald Trump ordering flags at half-staff, and I wanted to share just a snippet of what Mayor Waters said, because he knew her for years, and says this: "We are deeply grateful for all that Dolly gave to our community and for the way she carried the spirit of the Smokies with her wherever she went." Sevier County has lost a beloved friend, an extraordinary neighbor, and an icon whose legacy will forever be part of the story of our community. She has certainly shaped Sevier County, East Tennessee, and so much of our country, with so many people touched by her generous spirit and her talents as a singer-songwriter. We are approaching the bottom of the hour, and again, if you're just joining us, our coverage continues this afternoon about the death of Dolly Parton. We learned about that from her nephew earlier today, coming in a video statement from the entire family. He represented her and offered this about his beloved aunt.
Hey everyone, my name is Brian Seaver, son of Cassie Parton, and I'm representing the Parton and Owens family today, announcing the passing of my Aunt Dolly Rebecca Parton Dean, sister, sis, Aunt Granny to one generation and Gigi to the next. This video announcement is something Dolly asked of me years ago, before I fully absorbed it as a future reality. As her head of security for more than 2 decades, a role my father Larry held before me, I have imagined the heaviness of this moment, but haven't truly felt it until now. It is an honor that is mixed with absolute pride and great sadness. But sadness lies with us, not with Dolly. Dolly has lived in the light and is in the arms of Jesus, surely met by Carl, her parents, and countless others who have watched her and longed for her to meet them in the heavens. I first went on the road with Dolly as a kid, getting a taste of the road life in the early 1980s. Dolly opened doors not just for me, but for her entire family to reach the potential we didn't even know was possible. Dolly also opened doors for generations of singers, songwriters, musicians, and dreamers from every walk of life and across every continent. By her example, we believed that anything was possible. She never saw a door she couldn't open, and the doors she opened made and changed history. My family and I have shared a lifetime of beautiful memories with Dolly, but so have you. She has always been on your television, your record player, your CD, and on your phone playlist, becoming an extended part of your family, whether you liked it or not. Our family and the team she has entrusted with her legacy will work diligently to ensure her spirit will live with us forever. Dolly was a farmer, just like her daddy. He farmed the soil, she farmed songs and happiness. Dolly called me and said she wants to rest in a beautiful bed of plush cotton because after a life wearing heavy rhinestones, she finally deserves to be comfortable and have some rest. Rest in peace, Aunt Dolly, Aunt Granny, Gigi. May God bless Dolly Parton, and may God bless you all. She will always love you.
That was her nephew remembering Dolly Parton. Here are some other reactions coming into our newsroom. Again, Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn posting on social media earlier this afternoon. An iconic leader who loved our great state and nation. Her passing leaves a void that no one can ever fill. We will always love you. Representative Tim Burchett in Congress representing East Tennessee saying this in part: she represented the very best of the American dream, and her legacy will live on for generations to come. Rest in peace, Dolly. Knox County Mayor Glenn Jacobs taking to social media to share his message on Dolly's passing, saying in part her impact on East Tennessee is immeasurable, as are her contributions to our state and nation. Dolly was one of a kind and will be missed. And of course, the music world is mourning the loss of Dolly Parton. That includes country artist Trace Atkins saying in part, "I knew her to be the angel that they think she was, and I'll miss her. Dolly, I'll always love you." The Vol Shop also posting on social media about her death with a picture of Dolly during her Big Orange performance back in 2023. The quote there, "We will always love you." And she just loved the fans who came out that day and spent that moment with her inside Neyland Stadium, an extraordinary one back in 2023. I want to share this quote that we just got in from Dollywood. This is a statement regarding the passing of Dolly Parton. "The greatest privilege of my life has been helping Dolly bring her dreams to life at Dollywood." This is from Eugene Naughton, Dollywood Parks and Resorts president. "Dolly's heart was as vast as the mountains she cherished, and her compassion knew no bounds. She inspired generations to dream boldly and to love deeply. While we grieve her loss, we are honored and committed to carry her light forward. Her legacy will continue to shine in every melody sung, every smile shared, and every dream kindled within these gates." And again, that is from the partners that she worked with at Dollywood so many years. Eugene Naughton, Dollywood Parks and Resorts president, offering those remembrances about Dolly Parton. She was a fixture in the Nashville community, and that's where we find our Nashville reporter Sam Perez taking in some of the remembrances around Music City about this music icon. Sam?
John, yeah, I'm right here in Nashville. I'm right near Broadway, right outside of the Country Music Hall of Fame, which I can show you in a second. It has Dolly displayed among other country music icons. And right behind me, you can see a memorial that has just gotten its start, but flowers are being laid on the Music City Hall of Fame spot. That is an ode to Dolly Parton. So I'm going to take you so you can see a little bit more of that memorial. Again, flowers starting to grow. People have been coming by, and I've been talking to people as they've been setting down flowers to pay homage to her and to remember her. And I even talked to a group of young women that are here from England. They say that they were big Dolly Parton fans, even over in the UK, and they wanted to come here not only for them to see the star and pay tribute to Dolly themselves, but also to share it with their family, who are also big Dolly Parton fans and wanted to share their memories. They've been talking about her and listening to songs growing up, and definitely there is a presence here of people just coming and wanting to talk about Dolly. Right now there's no one nearby, but you can see people as they're walking through. They are wanting to know what's going on, the people that haven't heard. But again, this news coming in not long ago, and already this memorial is starting to grow. So definitely expecting it to continue growing here in Nashville. People keep walking by and wanting to see what's going on. Again, a lot of people already know what is happening, and wanting to continue to build the memorial. So I'll continue to keep you updated as this memorial continues to grow, and we'll have more coverage on that.
Sam Perez live for us in Nashville. We'll certainly check back in with Sam. Dolly having such an impact on that town and its growth as well. I want to read this from the Tennessee Valley Authority. America knew and loved Dolly Parton. She never forgot where she came from, and the Tennessee Valley will never forget her. Born and raised in Sevier County, Dolly carried the spirit of East Tennessee with her wherever she went. Through her music, Dollywood, the Imagination Library, and a lifetime of giving back, she created opportunities, opened doors for children, and shared the culture of our region with the world. Our hearts are with her family, friends, and the millions of people whose lives she touched. Again, here's more from Dollywood themselves. The greatest privilege of my life. Again, this is from Eugene Naughton, the Dollywood president. The greatest privilege of my life has been helping Dolly bring her dreams to life at Dollywood. Dolly's heart was as vast as the mountain she cherished, and her compassion knew no bounds. They knew her as the dreamer in chief at Dollywood, and there is no one who I think has interviewed Dolly more than Beth Haynes, our Channel 10 alum. She will join us in about 20 minutes with some of her reflections. I was asking her today about the news of Dolly's passing, and Beth Haynes, using one word to describe Dolly: invincible. That's how she felt about Dolly. She seemed to be everywhere, doing greatness all the time. This reminder that the flags are at half-staff across the country, that's by order of President Donald Trump in honor of Dolly Parton. This is a day of mourning, according to the mayor and mayor-elect in Sevier County, Larry Waters, issuing that along with his statement today. And we are going to hear reactions from so many people who were touched by Dolly and her generosity. You can see these are the flags at half-staff near her hometown. For the moment, we want to reflect on one of the people that she influenced, and that was Ashley Monroe, a singer-songwriter, and she called Dolly an inspiration. Here are some of what we heard from Ashley earlier.
With more than 100 million record sales, 7 Grammys,
Forgot something on my dress?
Academy Award nods, 2 books, a store on Hollywood Boulevard, and a successful theme park, Dolly Parton's not only a superstar, she's smart, savvy, and selfless.
I've often said it was a song that brought me out of the Smoky Mountains and a song that's brought me back, because it's because of my music that all these other things have happened.
The fourth of 12 children, music and songwriting consumed Dolly's young dreams.
You know, I just wanted to sing and get out, and I dreamed of going all over the world.
Back then, Sevier County wasn't bustling with tourists or attractions.
It was not anything like it in my childhood.
Life in rural Locust Ridge was quiet, simple, isolated.
Pigeon Forge was just a long strip of land.
However, at the WBIR studios,
I think there's something fishy going on.
Dolly found an outlet and gave voice to her songs on the Kaz Walker Show.
I started singing on his show when I was about 10 years old, and I continued until I left home at 18, and then I would still come back and be a guest on the show.
After high school, she moved to Nashville to pursue a music career and caught the eye of Porter Wagner. After a great run, Dolly said a heartfelt goodbye to the duo.
He had a harder time with it than I did, actually.
And pursued a solo career.
They call it the music business. So I learned early on you got to be smart about those things, or you just go down the tubes with it.
In 1980, thanks to this catchy tune,
They let you dream just to watch them shatter, just to step on the boss man ladder.
and a feisty character, Dolly jumped from vinyl to the big screen.
Oh, don't you worry about it, Mr. Hart. I've been chased by swifter men than you, and I ain't been caught yet.
With the hit movie 9 to 5, Several acting roles followed, including Truvy and Still Magnolias. With a knack for movies and her chart-topping music career, Dolly decided to diversify her interests yet again.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Dollywood.
With the Hershin family, she opened her very own theme park in 1986.
And it was my dream years ago to come back here if I made it and build a park or something that would really help, as you say, to provide jobs for not just my family, but friends and people in this area. And it really has done that. And here it is 30 years, but it has grown. It's been a joy seeing it expand every year.
There have been many career highlights for the Sevier native, from her induction into the Country Music Hall of Fame,
a soaring songbird from the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee,
to presidential honors at the Kennedy Center.
Dolly Parton and Smokey Robinson, America thanks you.
Perhaps, though, Dolly's greatest accomplishment doesn't come with a medal, rather smiles.
Oh, look at there. Hi there.
Every month, more than 750,000 children are given the gift of reading through Dolly's Imagination Library. And thousands in Sevier County have access to medical facilities and treatment thanks to Dolly's Robert F. Thomas Foundation.
If you get in a position to be able to help, then you should. Any little part that I can play that might help this county makes me feel like I'm doing something for Mom and Daddy and for my family and bringing honor to them.
A philanthropist, singer, songwriter, entrepreneur, businesswoman, author, and actress who's come a long way from her days on the farm.
The older I get, the more mellow I even become about wanting to come back home. In fact, my husband and I often talk about maybe someday we'll just move back up here.
Dolly Parton, born in Sevier County.
Someday when it's all said and done, I would like to be buried up here with my people.
Homegrown in Tennessee.
Y'all come back now. You hear?
She was magical and magnetic. Our Beth Haynes will join us at the top of the hour as well for her reflections on this sad day for East Tennessee, Sevier County, certainly in the nation. We want to check in with Katie Inman, who's made her way to Sevier County with more on what she's seeing around one famous statue alongside Chief Meteorologist Todd Howe. Katie, Todd?
Hey, yeah, John, we just got out here just a few minutes ago, and at the Dolly Parton statue in downtown Sevierville, Todd, no surprise, there are plenty of flowers and tributes to honor that Smoky Mountain songbird.
Katie, absolutely. This is going to be a very tough day for many, not only Sevier County, East Tennessee, the United States, around the world. So dearly loved. I suspect behind us the statue, it's just a guess. I suspect that's going to be nearly full.
Right.
With the memorial flowers that are being brought by, picking time 5 or 6 p.m., certainly by this evening. And we are live outside the Sevier County Courthouse. Yep. Many people are gathering here, coming to pay their respects. And it's just a very somber day. The news, I think, hit us all around the same time, and we were, shocked to hear that.
It did. Around 2 o'clock today, we're going to step out of the frame here so that we can get a better look at those flowers there at the Dolly Parton statue, and the mourners paying their respects now as well. It is no surprise that a lot of these bouquets have butterflies attached to them. There is a picture of Dolly Parton there at the base of her statue, and someone even placed butterfly wings on the backside of that statue as well. You can't see those now, but another thing to note, that as I was driving in here to Sevierville just a little bit ago, I passed by 2 things that said Dolly's name on it. One of them was a billboard, Dollywood, celebrating their fall festival. Another was Dolly Parton Children's Hospital Outpatient Center. That, of course, was renamed from East Tennessee Children's Hospital earlier this year, but both of those things, such a testament to who Dolly was at her core, an East Tennessee girl from the very beginning, and one that made a lasting impact on so many people here in East Tennessee. Mourners are paying their respects here at the Dolly Parton statue in downtown Sevierville. Of course, this statue was put up to honor Dolly Parton and her legacy. We're getting even bigger floral tributes here now. There's even small little cards there where people are saying what they want Dolly to know on them. But not only here, we've seen the tributes pour out online. We have heard them down the streets of Sevierville as well, people with their windows rolled down blasting Dolly's music. This is her home. This is the land that loved her so much, still continues to love her and pour out their respects for her. Now, I mentioned this earlier as I was in the studio, but I had the pleasure of interviewing Dolly twice in the last 3 years. One of those, the most recent of those, was in March of 2024. I was actually wearing this same dress when I interviewed her that last time. But so many people have personal memories and moments with Dolly, even if they never got to meet her in person. They know her either as the book lady because of the Imagination Library. They also know her as the woman who stepped up when some others did not. She chose to honor her people, her mountains, and she never gave up on them. Now, there's a wide array of these flowers that are placed here for Dolly. One thing that they all have in common is that they're all bright, they're colorful. That represents Dolly's personality, her sparkling and colorful personality. We know that one of her songs, The Coat of Many Colors, I think that represents who she is as well. A patchwork of a person made up one beautiful shining star who will forever leave her imprint on us here in East Tennessee. I know we have live coverage throughout the afternoon. We'll continue to bring you coverage here from Sevierville. Looks like they just lowered that flag here outside of the courthouse to half staff as President Donald Trump ordered. And it looks like that they're also closing parts of the street down here in downtown Sevierville as they anticipate more and more mourners will come to pay their respects this evening as well. Todd, you want to step back up here in frame? I know that everyone found out around the same time. You had just left from doing the noon with me, so I know in the newsroom it was shocking for all of us. I don't think a lot of us believed it at first because we all thought she was immortal.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much. We're all still processing. I'm sure you're processing it at home. It was, I was very surprised. Just got home, was sitting on the porch with my wife Lee, home from our lunch break, and got a message. I'd set my phone down, and Corey, our news director, said I needed to go to Dollywood, right away. And so, just processing all that. Katie, I love your remarks. Coming into Sevier County, you can't help but everywhere you look, I see this billboard, that billboard. There's signs about Dolly. And we're going to talk a whole lot more about this come up. The one word that for me, that I had a moment to reflect about Dolly Parton, the one word is love. I turned on the song, I Will Always Love You. I love that song. And I was listening to the words of it. And throughout the song, she says, don't cry. Please don't cry. And then says, I wish for you, your dream's the very best, and I will always love you. And just the words in that song, perhaps for me, described love. Dolly Parton, she gave. She was full of love. She gave to so many, and now a lot of people are wanting to give back in memory of her. And it is very much a somber day, a day of mourning. I know tomorrow, Sevier County has declared that to be a day of mourning, I think, for Sevierville and Sevier County here. And so we're here just to be with you, to mourn with you, to celebrate the life of Dolly. As Katie said, the flag, half staff, and the statue. People continue to come in, bringing flowers. And again, Katie, I'm sure this memorial statue area is going to be probably full of memorial flowers throughout the day, throughout the evening. Folks coming by to pay their respects. And even my brother called me from Asheville, North Carolina. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are in the same way. Gosh, did you hear the news? And, so we're all in the same boat of kind of reflecting. And she gave so much. And our thoughts and prayers with her family, our hearts are with her, and in memory of her. And certainly it's a tough time right now for many.
It is a tough time. Very well said, Todd. And as we share this growing tribute to Dolly Parton throughout the afternoon and evening, I want to remind you that news of her passing was only made public at 2 o'clock. We are not even 2 hours in to this
Right.
new reality that we're living in a world without Dolly Parton, but her fingerprints will remain on our world forever. The lasting impact that she made on us will never die. It will never fade away. And
Right.
as she said best, I will always love you. That extends even beyond her death. She was 80 years old at her time of passing. Dollywood has said that they will remain open tomorrow because that's what she would have wanted. She was their dreamer-in-chief at Dollywood for a reason. She never stopped dreaming. She never
Exactly.
stopped dreaming.
Yeah.
So
There's another world, dream. You know, her life was full of dreams. And that's where it all started for her, was she dreamed big.
She did.
She dreamed big. And, you know, and she believed in herself. She had God-given talents that she shared with us. We're the beneficiaries, the benefactors of Dolly Parton's life, her legacy, her love that she left behind for us to be able to enjoy. I mean, you know, Dollywood, everybody's been to Dollywood, and everything that she's done so much. And again, I only know a fraction. You know a whole lot more. I appreciate what you said, Katie. You said you happened to wear the same dress. That You've interviewed her on several occasions.
Yes.
And you knew her very well, and I'm sure you have a lot of great stories on that.
100%, and I shared some of those earlier, and we'll continue to share those throughout the hour. One that comes to mind as well is the very first time that I got to speak to Dolly directly was actually from the audience at Dollywood. I got to ask a question during the opening day at Dollywood, and this is funny.
That's a big deal.
We can end on this because I asked her, I said, Dolly, you do so much. You have a rock and roll album coming out. You now have a line of baking mixes and food, and you do music.
I didn't know that.
You know, all of this stuff. I said, how do you do it all? She answered back quickly, said, I'm on drugs. And then everyone laughed and exploded in laughter. That was Dolly. Wes was standing next to me. He is one of the PR guys, Wes Ramey, for Dollywood, and he said, that's Dolly. And then she went on to say, no, I'm just kidding. It's Jesus. I got Jesus in my heart. That's what keeps me going. That's what keeps pushing me forward. But a moment of levity, she knew how to do that. She knew how to work a room. Dolly could do no wrong. And Todd, it is an honor to get to spotlight her life, her legacy, and the love that she has shared with East Tennessee, and that she continues to leave behind here as she is now reunited with her husband, Carl Dean, her parents, and so many friends who have gone before her.
Yeah. What you just shared, she had their sense of humor, but then her heart opened up. Actually, it's Jesus. It drives her. And guess what? That's why she was so successful. That's why we're all blessed by her. And that's why she had such a wonderful heart of love that we were all blessed by.
And she shared her faith openly as well. We will continue to check in with you all at this growing tribute to Dolly Parton, East Tennessee's songbird, here in downtown Sevierville at her statue. But we'll go ahead and send things back to you all in the studio.
Katie, Todd, thanks so much. Just to build on some of their remarks, no doubt Dolly would tell us to keep dreaming, keep loving, and keep giving. That was her spirit. So we will continue to do just that. And Todd and Katie mentioned some of the highlights in her career as a philanthropist as well as a business leader. We're going to revisit that, but just a note on her talent. She once said that she wrote Jolene and I Will Always Love You in the same day. And if it wasn't the same day, she later clarified it might have been in the same couple of days, but it was certainly a good bit of writing in a short amount of time. That is Dolly's signature. What a talent. Here is Dolly through the years.
To mark Dollywood's first anniversary, the heart of downtown Sevierville came alive with the unveiling of its iconic Dolly statue, brought to life by the skilled artistry of Middleton, Tennessee's own Jim Gray.
This was a bigger than life Dolly. She's bigger than life anyway. She just loved it. She just loved it. I shall always consider you one of the angels in my life. Love Dolly Parton. And I do love Dolly Parton. She's a great gal. What a tribute.
And once the gates opened for Dollywood's second year, guests were welcomed with a slice of birthday cake.
So far, everybody complimented it, so I imagine it must be good.
The third season saw the opening of the $3 million DP Celebrity Theater.
I just know that I had a dream, and I was not about to let anything or anybody slow me down.
Almost anyone, any age, can get a splash out of Dollywood, and if you're one of the unlucky ones, you might even get soaked.
With each passing season, new wonders bloomed in the park. Yet still, the heart of it remained Dolly.
And I've sold my horse to come up here and see her, and I've just been planning and saving, and now that I'm here, I'm just as excited as I can be.
What do you think about our theme park here?
Oh, I think it's the best thing in the world. It's my first time to be here. It's great. I love it. How you doing?
In 1990, as Dollywood celebrated its 5th season, the enchanting Smoky Mountain Christmas made its grand debut, becoming a cherished holiday tradition.
Come on up here, young fella. Sit down and sit.
Shopping is just a part of what we have to offer during the Christmas event, because it's kind of like a Christmas package with entertainment and the crafts and shopping and rides. A lot of good food to eat.
Dollywood's aluminum anniversary brought the park all the way back to the rockin' 50s with the addition of Jukebox Junction.
I started my musical career in the 50s. I love the clothes of the 50s. Oh, I had some pedal pushers, and I got my poodle skirts for the shows. And I was trying to look the 50s, and I thought, well, I'll get my Marilyn Monroe wig, but I turned out looking more like Bill Monroe than Marilyn. But I can't believe, first of all, that we've been open for 10 whole years. It just seems like 3 years at the most since we was crawling out of a first birthday cake on our first anniversary.
Pick up.
The new attraction saw the opening of Red's Diner, Kaz Walker's store, and Watson's Motors.
You know how you can tell a solid vehicle? You kick the tire.
You need a car?
How about a good old-fashioned drag race on the Rockin' Roadway? This 1955 Corvette replica will top out at speeds in excess of 8 miles an hour. Woohoo!
To our 6th annual Smoky Mountain Christmas Fest. And welcome, special welcome, to our Dollywood Foundation directors who are here tonight for our big announcement.
The big announcement would be the start of Dolly's Imagination Library, an effort to educate the children of Sevierville. Those enrolled in the program would receive a book a month until they turned 5 years old.
I just took it on as a very personal thing, and it's really, we have a very high dropout rate in Tennessee, as you know, and especially in this part of the country, so it just meant a lot to me to be able to help.
When I was a little baby, I didn't know how to share. My favorite word was always mine, mine, mine.
Soon, Dolly's quest to educate the kids in her own hometown spread nationwide.
They call me the book lady, and I love that. And I said, I'd rather be called the book lady than anything. I truly believe that if a child can read, you can find your way through anything.
And in 2003, Imagination Library donated its 1 millionth book.
You better spell that. How do you spell Cana? C-A-N-A.
Well, not only a parent, but also an educator. I'm a 3rd grade teacher back in Alabama, and for her to do something like this for children, it's very good. And like she has said, it will give a lot of children an opportunity to really strive and learn how to read and to be successful.
By the time she's grown, good Lord, maybe every child in all America, maybe in all the world, will get a book a month.
The following year, Imagination Library doubled its overall total of books distributed
Over the mountain?
as the program expanded.
Imagination Library began with this book, Dolly's favorite, The Little Engine That Could. About 29,000 books were given out that first year. This year, Dolly is planning to mail out 1.2 million books to these flagged areas across the country.
Dolly was certainly earning her new nickname, the Book Lady.
I used to think that she actually went to my house, opened the mailbox, and put the book in.
I don't think they knew until just recently that she was famous for a few other things than giving them books.
The 25th year of Dollywood marked the 25 millionth book distributed by Imagination Library. The 100 millionth was donated to the Library of Congress in 2018. And to date, Dolly's Imagination Library, it's donated 200 million books plus worldwide. And it all started with a little idea back in 1995.
In my heart, the reason I started it was just for the folks here in my home county, because I wanted to pay honor to my dad, and many of my people and relatives here that couldn't read and write, didn't get a chance to go to school because they were brought up poor, big families, had to go to the fields and work rather than school. So my dad was so smart, and he was always, sorry that he didn't get the education that he wished he had. So when I started this, my dad was so proud, and it just took off, and people got to saying, wow, this is a wonderful little program.
In 1998, the old flooded mine was replaced by the new Daredevil Falls.
What can people expect? Is this ride going to last a while?
It lasts about 4 minutes and 15 seconds for the entire circuit.
That's long for a ride, isn't it?
That's quite a while for a ride. We have a capacity, design capacity of 1,200 an hour. We expect about 1,000 of that, which is typical on the ride. The number of special effects, pretty heavily themed. We're really proud of all the theming.
With the announcement of the Tennessee Tornado roller coaster in 1998, the Smokies beckoned those in search of exhilaration as the Thunder Express made way for a new thrill ride.
They have custom designed a coaster for us that will fit in the Smoky Mountains so that it'll be unlike any other one anywhere in the world. I think anytime that we can do something that will increase crowds to the market, then it benefits everybody.
Right now there are about 16 rides here at Dollywood. The $8 million Tennessee Tornado will replace the rides you see here. And for the millions of people that visit this park every year, a major roller coaster is something they've been waiting for.
Well, this roller coaster's been here for a long time, and we've ridden it a lot. And the thrill is not as much as it used to be. So I think that's neat, especially since they've closed down Opryland.
I think that's excellent.
Why so?
Because it'll be scary and fun.
With $8 million, it'll be good.
Dolly arrived for the opening of the 1999 season and ushered in the park's new staple. Although the ride time was less than 2 minutes, the half-mile Tennessee Tornado topped out at nearly 70 miles an hour. Dolly brought in the new millennium with a splash when she expanded with the new water park. There was a contest to pick the perfect name for that $20 million attraction, with the winner receiving a private party at the park and a canoe signed by Dolly. The winning name? Dolly's Splash Country.
3, 2, 1.
Splash Country opened in May of 2001 and won that year's Best New Water Park Award by the Water Park Association Symposium.
But you got dreams you'll never take away. I've been rushing all day.
2001 also brought another staple to the park, the Festival of Nations.
We hope it will be a fun time, not only for us, for the band, but especially for our listeners and for everybody in Dollywood.
The festival featured representatives from countries including Kenya, Ecuador, the Czech Republic, and Russia.
Wouldn't it be great if we could all just live like this all over the whole world, all time, and if that's all there was to it? It's not, of course, but it'd be nice. But who knows? This is a start. Well, hello, everybody. Can you hear us down there?
2004's opening day saw thousands lining Pigeon Forge Parkway, braving the cold and rain just to get a glimpse of Dolly.
I've loved her for years, and to see her in person made my dream come true.
Beyond the festivities of the parade, parkgoers had another thrill in mind, the grand opening of Dollywood's newest marvel, the Thunderhead Coaster.
Welcome to all of you. We're very excited about our roller coaster. Of course, I had so much fun getting dressed. I'm far more excited about my outfit than I am this $7 million roller coaster.
That wooden coaster was constructed of 700,000 board feet of southern yellow pine and topped out at 55 miles an hour. But Dolly would not ride the new coaster.
I don't think so, because I kind of fall apart on these rides. First my wig, then my nails, yeah. God only knows what else.
We were able to get a sneak peek.
So, Fred, how was it? That good, huh? Should I be a little nervous? Oh. Any last-minute instruction? Any advice?
Hands up and have fun.
Oh, holding on tight. Just pull this back. Oh my gosh, that was so much fun.
What are you people doing here? They're fixing to start blasting. Y'all better duck.
2006 brought about the unveiling of another new coaster to the park, Mystery Mine.
Do you know that place that your mother always said don't go in? It's been abandoned and closed. It's collapsing. Well, we're going to go in there, and we're going to maneuver through the timbers. Things are going to feel like they're falling down on you. We're going to encounter some mysterious characters and special effects.
The new roller coaster was up and ready for the 2007 season.
I'm on my way. Get me out of this dungeon. Can you see my light? Is it on or off? It's off now? Is it on now? Well, anyway, I've been working in the dark. How you folks doing there? Is this going to mess up your camera? Almost there, almost there.
With such a spooky new ride, it had to open on an even spookier date.
Well, Friday the 13th. You picked a great day to open this big ride behind you.
You know what? It's so spooky looking, and it's just like one of those perfect, days to open a ride like this. Now, it's mysterious. It's the Mystery Mine.
Are you going to ride it?
No.
No.
At the time of its opening, Mystery Mine was Dollywood's single largest investment, coming in at $17.5 million. It had the steepest drop of any coaster in the country. Fans came from all over the world to be among the first to give it a spin, literally.
I've come over from London, England. I wanted to go on the ride, and I wanted to meet Dolly.
All the way from Glasgow, Scotland, but that's nothing from what that experience just was there. I'd do it all over again, 10 times over. Fantastic.
She said, "Hello there, Spike." I said, "Hi, you're my hero."
She was amazed that I came so far from Glasgow and Scotland, and she was like, "We've just been there," and I said, "I've been to all your shows," and she's like, "Yeah, I remember your face in the poster you gave." And I thought, she remembers me. Dolly Parton knows Kelly.
Having just returned from an overseas tour, Dolly brought back a little Irish flair to the park that year.
We Irish love to dance. We Irish love to party whenever we get the chance.
She even surprised the Rhythm of the Dance Irish Dance Troupe by performing with them at the opening of that year's Festival of Nations.
We thought that we might get a glimpse of her if we were lucky when we got here, and then we were told that we'd be dancing with her to an Irish song that she wrote, so it was absolutely excellent. It was just great. Excellent.
We are remembering the life of Dolly Parton. We lost her at age 80, and we continue our special coverage right now on WBIR.
10 News is sponsored by Quality Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Breaking news. We are glad you're with us for this sad reflection on Dolly Parton. We lost her at the age of 80. The announcement coming just a couple of hours ago on social media. An extraordinary person, humanitarian, business person, talented singer, songwriter, gone at the age of 80. And we'll hear from people who know her and love her throughout our coverage. We'll be with you throughout the evening, and we want to check in with someone right now who knew Dolly perhaps better than many people, and that is Mayor of Sevier County, Larry Waters. Mayor Waters, thank you for making time for us today. Just give us your initial thoughts when you learned the news.
It's certainly a shock and reflection on what Dolly meant to not just people in Sevier County, which she loved Sevier County and its people, and she showed it time and time again, but she loved people all across Tennessee, the United States, and the world, and she had such an impact on people everywhere. Imagination Library, and she started a buddy program in Sevier County where she gave kids money if they graduated from high school in Sevier County, and expanded that program. And you know, just recently the Dolly Parton Children's Hospital, and she helped us, gave us money for the senior center, and she did this all over the world. And she's just was such a special person, and reflected her love for people everywhere she went.
We are seeing right now, Mayor, some video of the Sevier County and Gatlinburg Memorial to the wildfires there. Explain what she did for people in that community with her My People Fund.
Well, and because she wanted to call it My People Fund, that says a lot about her, because the people in the mountains of Sevier County were her people, and she was proud of them, and she loved them, and as soon as the fires happened, I mean, it wasn't a week or a month, it was a day that she said, I'm going to do something to help the people that lost everything in my home area. And so she set up to give $10,000 to every person that lost everything in the devastating fire. And that meant so much. I mean, that helped people recover. It helped people get back on their feet. And you can look in Sevier County today and see what an impact that had, because we recovered quicker than I think any community anywhere has recovered from such devastation, and a big part of that recovery was what Dolly Parton did.
Mayor, my last question to you. When you hear her name, what feeling comes to you?
I knew her even in grade school. She'd ride the school bus, and my grandfather would drive it, and he was a Baptist preacher, and her grandfather was a Baptist preacher, and she had a deep and abiding faith. What comes to my mind is the impact that she's had on people in her life, and that she gave back so much. And she didn't just want to accumulate wealth. She wanted to take that wealth and help people with it. And that stands out in my mind, and that vivacious personality that you love to be around, that laughter, and she was that way growing up. I mean, she didn't change at all, and people that get her fame, a lot of them changed. Dolly Parton never did, and that says a lot about her character.
Mayor Larry Waters on this day, and we appreciate your memories of your friend and old classmate, Dolly Parton. Mayor, thank you for being with us. We appreciate it, and letting us know just all she did for Sevier County. We did hear this news from Dolly's family just a little earlier this afternoon. We've been on the air with our special coverage since about 2 today. Here is how we learned that news from Dolly's nephew.
Hey everyone, my name is Brian Seaver, son of Cassie Parton, and I'm representing the Parton and Owens family today, announcing the passing of my Aunt Dolly Rebecca Parton Dean, sister, sis, Aunt Granny to one generation and Gigi to the next. This video announcement is something Dolly asked of me years ago, before I fully absorbed it as a future reality. As her head of security for more than 2 decades, a role my father Larry held before me, I have imagined the heaviness of this moment, but haven't truly felt it until now. It is an honor that is mixed with absolute pride and great sadness. But sadness lies with us, not with Dolly. Dolly has lived in the light and is in the arms of Jesus, surely met by Carl, her parents, and countless others who have watched her and longed for her to meet them in the heavens. I first went on the road with Dolly as a kid, getting a taste of the road life in the early 1980s. Dolly opened doors not just for me, but for her entire family to reach the potential we didn't even know was possible. Dolly also opened doors for generations of singers, songwriters, musicians, and dreamers from every walk of life and across every continent. By her example, we believed that anything was possible. She never saw a door she couldn't open, and the doors she opened made and changed history. My family and I have shared a lifetime of beautiful memories with Dolly, but so have you. She has always been on your television, your record player, your CD, and on your phone playlist, becoming an extended part of your family whether you liked it or not. Our family and the team she has entrusted with her legacy will work diligently to ensure her spirit will live with us forever. Dolly was a farmer, just like her daddy. He farmed the soil, she farmed songs and happiness. Dolly called me and said she wants to rest in a beautiful bed of plush cotton because after a life wearing heavy rhinestones, she finally deserves to be comfortable and have some rest. Rest in peace, Aunt Dolly, Aunt Granny, Gigi. May God bless Dolly Parton, and may God bless you all. She will always love you.
Our special coverage continues on the life of Dolly Parton and the impact she has had for so many years here in East Tennessee, our country, and the world. We have crews across the area in the places that were most dear to Dolly. Katie Inman and Todd Howell are in Sevierville, where Dolly grew up. Libby Cunningham joins us live in Dollywood in moments, and Nicole Borman is on the UT campus as well. Reflections from young folks who knew Dolly through her songs and her many talents as a singer-songwriter and also a philanthropist. We want to share this news from the city of Pigeon Forge, remembering Dolly today. Leaders there saying in part, Dolly was far more than a world-renowned singer, songwriter, actress, entertainer, and philanthropist. To the people of Pigeon Forge, she was one of our own. For decades, Dolly's name and heart have been woven into the story of Pigeon Forge. Through Dollywood, the many businesses and attractions she helped bring to the community, and the countless ways she invested in the people of East Tennessee. But perhaps her greatest legacy is not measured in the success she achieved. It is measured in the lives she touched. Well said from the leaders in Pigeon Forge today, and we will have more remembrances from people across our state. For now, we send it live to Katie Inman and Todd Howell in Sevierville, and that iconic statue that stands just behind you filling up with tributes.
Yeah, John, we got out here just a little past 3:30, and since then, this pile of flowers, tributes, signs, balloons, it has continued to grow. Todd,
Yes.
The news of Dolly's passing has only been made public for a little over 2 hours, but
Right.
it is being felt here, not only in downtown Sevierville, but across the world.
Yes.
Since we've been here, too, Todd, we've
Yeah.
witnessed people young and old bring flowers. We have also heard her songs be blared through cars that are driving by.
my goodness.
But Todd,
Yeah.
the biggest thing that Dolly wants people to remember and that they feel is that she will always love them.
That's it. That's the theme. I will always love you. That's what I was listening to that song come down. And it's just incredible how many people she influenced, had an impact on. And you said not just Sevierville, Sevier County, Dollywood, East Tennessee, United States, the world, all over, young and old alike. Folks are bringing up. You can see the folks gathered here. You're
step
seeing
over
our.
here to the side. So
Yeah,
that we
yeah.
can
Look at all the
see.
folks gathered, and I'm sure this will continue to grow. We're just a little bit past 4 o'clock, just past 4:15. Memorial flowers being brought for a statue. The flag has staff. Folks are gathering around, and as news broke, as you said, Katie, just a few hours ago, and we're all feeling, I'm sure, the same thing. It all impacts us the same. She impacted all of us
She did.
in so many ways.
In one way or the other, whether she is known as the book lady in your house because of the Imagination Library books that are delivered to your child every month, or she's the dreamer in chief to you as she was known at Dollywood, or simply East Tennessee songbird, or even just Dolly. She meant something to all of us. She continues to make her impact known here in East Tennessee. This is just a small piece of evidence of who Dolly was and continues to be. Her light will continue to shine because that's just how bright she was.
She's so bright, and she left a legacy of love to so many, such a huge impact, and we're all remembering her in different ways, but in a very special way today. And our thoughts and prayers with her family and everyone that she meant so much to, Katie.
And by the way, if you want to come and pay your respects, you are welcome to do that. The city of Sevierville is closing down some streets to make it safe for everyone, but you are invited to do that. Surely many people will continue to show up throughout the day. We'll continue to check back in with you all. We'll go ahead and send things back to you in the studio.
Katie and Todd live in Sevierville for us. Let's take you now to St. Augustine, Florida, where there is another tribute going up right now to Dolly and her legacy. Again, just to our south. Here it is, and this is going to be one of many we see pop up across the country. Let's take you to the West Coast and go live to Los Angeles, where Dolly's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame is covered in flowers and memories from fans there in California. Again, that's a live look at Los Angeles. We are joined right now live with an interview from Sevier County historian Carol McMahon. And Carol, you went to high school with Dolly. I'm very sorry that you lost your friend, and just tell us how you learned this news and what you're feeling right now.
Thank you. It is a sad day for me and for everyone in Sevier County. You know, I turned the TV on just as they announced it this afternoon, and although it was a little bit expected, maybe down the road, it was certainly a shock when it happened. I don't think you can prepare yourself for news such as this. You know, it's always been a little hard to grasp that an international icon grew up in our midst. She was always kind and always generous all of her life. And there's been so many times over the past few years that I've just almost had to pinch myself when I worked for the Chamber of Commerce before my retirement. I often would take media personnel from all over the world on tours, and invariably the first and foremost thing they wanted to see and talk about was anything to do with Dolly. She was loved everywhere, and not once in all those years have I ever heard anyone that had any kind of negative response to Dolly, and that's because she's always been kind and generous all of her life.
What do you think what do you, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I just want to know from you, someone who knew her personally, what do you think Dolly would want us to do in her honor, in tribute to her life?
Oh, I think the very words I just said, she would want everyone to be kind and generous to everyone. Dolly always stayed above politics. She stayed above getting involved in any person's religious faith. It didn't matter to her who they was, where they came from, or where they were going. And I think that she would like for the world to be like her example.
Carol, we appreciate your time. She certainly walked the talk, and it's very good to hear from a classmate of hers on this sad day. But certainly your memories help us process what is a loss for, as you said, the world.
And if I may, just on a personal note, a few years back I wrote an article for Smoky Mountain Living magazine about Sevierville. And much to my surprise, a few weeks later, I receive a package in the mail, and I open it up, and it's a copy of that magazine signed by Dolly Parton with an inscription across that says, "Thank you for loving our hometown." She never forgot where she came from or who her friends were.
Carol, thank you so much, and our hearts go out to you and the people who knew her best. Thank you for sharing that memory with us today.
Thank you.
We're going to move to Dollywood, and Libby Cunningham and Taylor Pennington standing by, and this was one of her signatures. And Libby, this is a place where some people really grew to know Dolly even better than they knew her through her songs.
That's right, John. So we are here at Dollywood, and people love Dolly Parton, as we know. People have been driving past. Dollywood is closed today. Right before we went live, someone drove past and said, "I love Dolly, God bless her." And we have also run into some fans who are here making sure that they are paying their tributes to her. I am here with Sophia and Isabella. You two are college students. What made you want to come to Dollywood today? Sophia, I'll go with you first.
Well, whenever I heard the news that she had passed, I was so sad, and I immediately screamed and ran into her room and was like, "We have to go now. We have to go down to Sevierville now."
Yes, I think Dolly is just such a light to our community, and I think she just represents such unity for everybody in Tennessee and honestly in America as a whole. And we just wanted to come down and be able to like see what we could do, or even just honestly just visit, because it's such an important day in history, I think.
We talked about this a little bit. What are your favorite songs from her?
My Tennessee Mountain Home or He's Alive.
My favorites are either Island in the Stream or There Was Jesus, because I think Dolly was exactly the type of person that Jesus wants us all to be on earth.
Absolutely. What does Dolly Parton mean to you?
Dolly was just such an inspiration, I know for a lot of Appalachians especially, because she kind of showed that you could come from nothing but still be something in this world, and kind of broke that stigma. So she really meant a lot to me in knowing that I could achieve my dreams, whatever I wanted to do.
I think Dolly was just such a huge representation of kindness and the type of person that, like I just said, that Jesus wanted us all to be on earth. But I think that she just really represents the type of person that we should all strive to be, and just being kind towards others, doing what we can for each other, and just helping wherever we can.
Thank you, ladies, so much, and thank you so much for giving us some time. And as to what you were saying as well, Sophia, Dolly really did care about the people here in East Tennessee and here in Appalachia. So we spoke to her when she was at the Walmart in Newport after Hurricane Helene. We were there when she was there, actually, and she had said that, you know, she had grown up in Newport and gone to the dentist's office there. That's why she wanted to give more than $1 million to the people who went through Helene in Cocke County. We also had heard from her in 2016 after the Gatlinburg wildfires, when she gave a lot of money back to people here in this area. So she means a lot to so many people. Her music means so much to so many people, and Dollywood, like you said earlier, John, means a lot to people. It is a destination, and it's a really good, nice, clean theme park, and of course, even with the day being today, they are really taking care of us here. John?
All right, Libby Cunningham, thank you so much for those reflections. Outside Dollywood closed today. They plan to open tomorrow. Just a note here, the flags at the Pigeon Forge Community Center are at half staff, but they are across the country on orders of the president. President Trump ordering that, and we did hear from the mayor of Sevier County that tomorrow will be a day of mourning in that community. Dollywood is remembering its dreamer-in-chief, and here is a message from Dollywood President Eugene Naughton saying, "The greatest privilege of my life has been helping Dolly bring her dreams to life at Dollywood. Dolly's heart was as vast as the mountain she cherished, and her compassion knew no bounds." We have seen Dolly really grow up through the years. She got her start in television right here in our studio at WBIR. Here is a look back at her life with our friend Beth Haynes.
With more than 100 million record sales, 7 Grammys,
Forget something on my dress?
Academy Award nods, 2 books, a store on Hollywood Boulevard, and a successful theme park, Dolly Parton's not only a superstar, she's smart, savvy, and selfless.
I've often said it was a song that brought me out of the Smoky Mountains and a song that's brought me back, because it's because of my music that all these other things have happened.
The fourth of 12 children, music and songwriting consumed Dolly's young dreams.
You know, I just wanted to sing and get out, and I dreamed of going all over the world.
Back then, Sevier County wasn't bustling with tourists or attractions.
It was not anything like it in my childhood.
Life in rural Locust Ridge was quiet, simple, isolated.
Pigeon Forge was just a long strip of land.
However, at the WBIR studios,
I think there's something fishy going on.
Dolly found an outlet and gave voice to her songs on the Kaz Walker Show.
I started singing on his show when I was about 10 years old, and I continued until I left home at 18, and then I would still come back and be a guest on the show.
After high school, she moved to Nashville to pursue a music career and caught the eye of Porter Wagner. After a great run, Dolly said a heartfelt goodbye to the duo.
He had a harder time with it than I did, actually.
And pursued a solo career.
They call it the music business. So I learned early on you've got to be smart about those things, or you just go down the tubes with it.
In 1980, thanks to this catchy tune,
Lay, let you dream, just to watch them shatter, just to step on the boss man's ladder.
And a feisty character, Dolly jumped from vinyl to the big screen.